When DJI launched the Osmo Mobile 4, I asked myself, why would anyone buy this? But actually, I've changed my mind. Hi, I'm Ash from DroningON, and if you enjoy this content, hit that subscribe button because the channel then grows and I can bring more videos like this to you guys. But anyway, let's talk about the recently launched Osmo Mobile 4, also known as the OM4 from DJI. This product launched just a couple of weeks ago, and when it first appeared, I just thought to myself, is there still a market for this kind of product? After all, mobile phone technology has become so advanced and the image stabilization, optical and electronic is so good that do you still really need a mechanical stabilizer when you're out and about shooting with a phone? When the Osmo Mobile 3 launched just last year, I was sent one by DJI. It's been sat in its box for the last year because nobody seemed interested, so I actually didn't even bother to review it. But since the Osmo Mobile 4 arrived, I've changed my mind, and actually this thing's now out of its box and in pretty regular use. Let me explain why. Whenever I look at drone footage, one of the main things I love to see is a bit of ground footage as well. It sets the scene and it helps to tell the story, doesn't it? When you're shooting on the ground first in the build up to then getting up into the air with your drone. Now you can cart around a big heavy SLR like the one I'm shooting on right now, or you could just use a camera that you already have with you, especially if you're just starting out with drone footage and you don't really want to spend a lot of money. Mobile phone resolution is really good these days. Some phones are even shooting 6 or 8K. Not that you really need that, but the point is the quality is there, even the lenses are better these days, and it's more than good enough for YouTube. Now, in addition to that, channels like this require a lot of filming, editing, production and publishing, and so I've actually started a few spin-off channels, some of them drone related, some not, but they are very much point and shoot, where I just use my mobile phone to get out there, shoot a video holding it in my hand and literally publish it straight to YouTube from the phone. It saves a lot of edit and it saves a lot of time, and especially when you have kids, as you'll know out there, they consume time ridiculously. Oh! And that leaves very little time available for the editing process. Since starting those smaller channels, I've come across a number of challenges with using just the mobile phone. The first one is shaky footage. Now, the optical and electronic image stabilization of mobile phones like this, the Samsung S10, is very good, but it's not perfect. And most of that image stabilization is geared up towards the rear camera, not the front-facing camera. And when you are vlogging with a mobile phone, you're generally holding it like this with the front camera so that you can see on the screen what you're actually shooting. And that means that sometimes you will end up with wobbly and jerky footage, and that, of course, for the end user is not pleasant to watch. The key benefit, of course, is this is a mechanical gimbal. And so no matter how much I'm moving around, bouncing around, or shaking, this thing is keeping it beautifully buttery smooth for the end user. And that, of course, contributes to a really positive viewing experience. And so for that reason, I'll now be using my Osmo Mobile for any future videos on my smaller YouTube channels. The other side of it is you are needing to hold the phone away from you, and I found that for longer videos, maybe 5 minutes or more, my arm starts to give way and I start to get cramp in my fingers. Maybe I'm just old. But regardless, it's a really uncomfortable way to shoot video, especially if it's more than 5 minutes worth. So from vlogging purposes, it's so much easier to hold rather than holding a phone, because you're just holding a handle, although you're not normally also holding an Osmo Action behind you as well. The other side related to how you hold it is the awkward angle. When you hold the phone like that, you generally always end up with this arm being unusable, and you sometimes see the forearm in the video as well. Again, that just doesn't contribute positively towards the end user's viewing experience. Holding the handle arm of this is very comfortable, and it means that you can hold it at length with the phone facing you for long periods of time without getting that arm ache or awkwardness of the view for the viewing person. The other side of it is some of my videos I shoot sat at the desk here, and I don't want to be holding my phone when I'm doing that. Now, I almost looked for a mobile phone static tripod, one of those kind of small tripods that you sit your phone on top of. That's when it occurred to me, I already have a mobile phone tripod, it's in a box in the garage, and it's called the Osmo Mobile. Now with the Osmo Mobile, you actually get a tripod with it, but I've attached a bigger tripod here with longer legs so I can actually sit it on the desk, and the height of it is just perfect when you're shooting video like this, for example. And you end up with your own personal cameraman who will move and follow you as you walk around wherever you go, tilting up and down, left and right. But of course there are many other benefits that come with this in terms of the features of DJI Mimo, including panorama mode. You sit it down and it will automatically take a wide angle photo for you, which is really cool. You've also of course got time lapse, which is a great feature. Now you could argue that, well, you can stick a mobile phone on a tripod, a static tripod, and it can also take a time lapse, but it can't follow you automatically, and it certainly can't take a moving time lapse. So a number of advantages that I'd just forgotten about. In summary, don't write off the Osmo Mobile yet, as I did. A link to it is in the video description below, and it's very, very cheap. I think you'll be shocked at just how cheap it is for what it is. And of course, not only is the Osmo Mobile 4 smaller than previous models, but it's also easier and quicker to get up and running and use. So it's definitely worth considering. Comment below with your thoughts about the Osmo Mobile. What could it do better? I've been thinking about this myself. How could it be improved for the Osmo Mobile 5? And at this point, I'm a little bit stumped with ideas, but maybe you have some. Give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down if your face isn't buttery smooth. And of course, click that subscribe button. Thanks very much for watching.